This is the video for Mr. Abernathy's 11th graders for the week of June 1st through June 5th. It's going to be our last week of structured tasks. Most grades need to be in by the 5th of June, so keep that in mind. Don't procrastinate if you want to get your grade up. It's not too late for second semester. For first semester, yeah, reach out to your counselor. We're a little past that. So this task is we are taking our knowledge of letters to the editors, responding to editorials, and we're going to apply that to our peers writing. So last week we asked you to read an article and respond using a format, writing a letter to the editor regarding whether schools should go to year-long or we should continue with a long summer break. So this week you're going to visit our Padlet site. Hopefully you visited that before this and are familiar with it and have posted your own post there. If you haven't done that, please go back to a couple 2 weeks ago when we framed that task and do that first. It's very important that we have a plethora of responses there for people to respond to. And then you will go to Padlet and follow the template for how to write a letter to the editor, responding to a peer's post in a kind, thoughtful way. It could be silly, it could be serious. Letters to the editor are your reaction, your response to something that's been published. So if you want to, if you're a parent, guardian, older sibling, friend, whatever you are watching this video for your student and you want to help them out with this assignment, a couple things you can do is one, read over their response, see does it kind of fit the tone, does it answer the question, would it be an effective letter to the editor that might actually get published in a newspaper. And then, because we always try to make this learning real, like how does this actually apply to the real world, go out, find a newspaper, the more local, the better. You have a higher chance of getting your letter to the editor published. And find an article that you would like to respond to. It could be an editorial, it could be an opinion piece, a comic, a news article, anything really. And follow this template and maybe with your student, write in a letter to the editor of, for example, the Federal Way Mirror. Maybe there's something going on with stores reopening, with crime, with community resources that you'd like to respond to or give insight to. Write a letter to their editor, and you never know, might get published in the actual newspaper, which would be, I think, pretty cool. Shows how the free press should work. So let's hop over real quick to our page for this week here. So let's go back for students who might need a reminder of how to actually get to the discussion. So when you go to our classes homepage, we have here, these are called modules. Right at the top is going to be whatever the most recent module is. So you're going to click here when it's published to find our discussion post for this week. We lay out the instructions first. Yeah, make sure you read the newspaper, get an idea of what students are posting. There are a lot of political cartoons, some ideas for things to do during quarantine. You can look at an example of a appropriate response to a student's comic that I wrote as an example, following that template almost exactly. You're gonna have to download it. It's an image. So we'll download that, open it up real quick. Here you can see the student's comic that they copied, and then a response to that comic. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, right? They don't always have to be super serious. Do your best, share your thoughts. And then you'll write your actual letter to the editor, and then you'll post your letter in a comment on Padlet. So we actually embedded the Padlet site here on Canvas. So if, say, you want to take a look at this weather update and you want to write a letter to the editor about that, you can just come to here where it says add comment and copy and paste your letter here. and everyone should be able to see that. I would recommend maybe signing just your first name, so then people know who it is. It might be when you post it, I have to approve it as a teacher or whatever. So make sure it's something that Mr. Abernathy would approve. So don't be a bully. Never be a bully. Other than that, that's the task for this week. Let's stop sharing screen here. If you have questions, concerns, we do have office hours this coming Monday at 10 to 10:30 for juniors. And remember that if you need anything, this is not a time to try and take all your burdens by yourself. To share them with people that care for you, your teachers, counselors, family members. If you're going through something, talk about it. Even if it's hard, people want to help. That's all I got for this week. This might be the last video. I wish you all the best, and I hope to hear from you soon.